Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. Happy Wednesday to everybody. And we are officially 2 weeks away from the National. There you go. 14 days to go till the show. And it's going to get here quick. And the other day I did a video talking about my decision whether or not to grade cards on site with PSA because of the pricing and just kind of working through that in my own mind. And I solicited responses from you guys about what I should do. Boy, did you guys not disappoint. I mean, tons and tons and tons of great comments and a lot of great suggestions and just a lot of food for thought for me. And the interesting part about it was a lot of people were of the mindset of think about how many more cards you could buy with the $500 that you would spend on grading. And that's absolutely true, 100%. This is not money from my national budget that I would be using. This would just be separate money that I would still have the same budget for the national, whether I grade these cards or not. So that's kind of not a factor for me in terms of my thought process. Although it's still $500, it's whether it's out of my budget or not, you're still spending $500. And so where I started going is I started thinking about this. I started thinking, well, first of all, when will PSA be taking regular submissions again in terms of just kind of economy, just kind of run-of-the-mill submissions? So I personally don't think it's going to be until sometime first quarter of 2022. I just think they have so much of a backlog. If they're going to keep the submissions very restricted on what they allow in the door to allow themselves to continue to catch up. So that's, the time aspect of it. Well, just be patient, Mike. That's what a lot of people said. And I do preach patience a lot about the hobby. Norman's going crazy over here. I do preach a lot of patience. But it's like this is just getting the cards graded, right? And so the idea of being able to take them to the show, get them graded, get them back slabbed at the show, all done within a few days is really appealing. The other thing is, let's say they do get back to regular, taking regular submissions. What's the price going to be? Is it going to be $50 again a card? Probably not for a long time. I bet they settle some. Again, I think they're going to ratchet down, and I bet when they first reopen submissions, they're going to be somewhere in the $100 range for just kind of a normal submission, which again will continue to deter people from sending in quote unquote lower end cards to allow them to control the flow of cards that are coming in to be graded. So at 100, let's say it's $100. Let's just say that's possible for sure. And so you got $100 a card plus $40 to $50 probably between shipping and insurance, both getting it there and getting it back from PSA. So you're talking about a $250 decision later or a $500 decision now. So the difference really isn't am I spending $500? It's am I spending $500 now or $250 later? And so to me, that closes the gap on the financial aspect of it to where I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know how long it's going to take once I send them in. So is that worth $250 to me, really? And the answer for that is a definitive yes. And so really, really loved all of the response, the feedback, the well-crafted email or messages that people left on the last video. But I've decided to go ahead and grade the cards at the National. In fact, I have already filled out my submission form. So that's ready to go. So I'll just bring that to the show. A lot of people are like, oh man, when you get to the show, are you going to have to, oh, good luck. You're going to be in line forever and you may never even get them in. Well, that might be true. There might be a line, but I have a vendor pass, so I'll be able to get in super early, and you can literally go stand in the line whenever you want. So, there may not be anybody there to help you, but you can the line can form when the first person stands in the line. I remember 2 years ago at the National, I was going to drop off some cards, and I was there so early because I was able to get in early. I literally was the first person in line. So the first person that came to, when they first opened the door, so to speak, and started talking to people, I walked right up and I was first to go. I don't know why I couldn't repeat that process this time, or at least be, where I'm not waiting hours and hours, because that is certainly a consideration. Nobody wants to wait hours and hours to drop off their cards. That's no fun. But when you have your submission already filled out and all that, it's literally just a walk up and drop it off. You've already kind of greased the wheel. You've already filled everything out. You don't just sit there with someone and go through the cards. You literally go, here's my submission form, here's the cards, do your thing, and then they text you whenever they get it done. Yeah, and I'm going to do that as soon as I can when I get there, so that, because I'm leaving Saturday, so I can't wait till Sunday. If they tell me the submission's not available till Sunday, then I'm kind of screwed. So hopefully they will get them done by Saturday. Again, it's kind of first in, first out. So if you're there early, those are the first. They just kind of grade them as they come in. That's just how they do it at the show. So if I'm there early on Wednesday, get them turned in, then I'll be in line and off they go, and they'll get those done hopefully pretty quick. I remember the ones I turned in Wednesday last year or 2 years ago were done on Friday, I think. So it was all pretty quick, and I had a much larger stack of cards. And they were dual and autograph grading and all kinds of stuff. So this is just 2 cards, grade them. Should be a pretty quick process. We'll see. So that's that. I do have some mail to go over quickly. Just some slabbage I've been picking up, little stuff along the way. So let's take a look at that. Hold on one second. A little less conversation, a little more action. Well, let's get to some action here. Start with this. 83 Topps Red Sox batting and pitching leaders. All my Red Sox guy friends out there, there's tons of you guys. Jim Rice pictured on this as the batting leader for the Red Sox. Hall of Famer. Boom. Also got this 1982 Topps Tony Perez in action card in a mint 9. These slabs that had got these kind of one-off cards, so to speak, just inexpensive cards that the cost of them has been going up over the last few months, have now started retreating rather nicely, and I'm able to pick some of these up super cheap, which is great. That's totally fine with me. That's where that patience comes in, I guess, at least with buying cards. I got this 86 Topps George Brett in a near mint 8. Shout out to Dave, Blue Jacket 66, who will be at the show, hanging out with him a whole lot. And he's going to be part of our YouTube get-together, which is going to be Thursday night of the show. If you're there, we're going to be at the Embassy Suites, which is literally right across the street from the Stevens Convention Center. And they have a giant kind of dining area where they serve breakfast and whatnot. And there's just a ton of tables and everything. So there should be plenty of room for everybody that wants to come join us. Anybody is welcome. If you watch this video, if you make content yourself, if you just, are a lurker on YouTube, feel free to show up and come say hi to everybody. All right, last card is this, and I've loved this card ever since I was a kid, and when I saw it, it was so cheap, and I was so excited to pick it up, and that's this 1991 Nolan Ryan Stadium Club card. I always loved this card as a kid. I remember buying it in packs, and I got this one in 8 just to have one that's slabbed for my Nolan Ryan kind of super run that I'm doing. I just love this card. I mean, it's so cool. You've got him in a tux. I mean, classic pitching pose, all that good stuff. And man, even got the Nike cleats on, the Rangers hat. It's just awesome. I mean, I think the only better picture of Nolan Ryan is maybe the one where he's in the duster. I actually have a bobblehead with him in the duster, but this is just a classic card from my childhood that I absolutely love, and so glad to finally add one slab to the collection. Super cheap, by the way. I don't remember what I paid for it, but it was not much money. And yeah, hopefully you guys remember this card too. And that's it for today with the mail. Just 4 slabs. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for contributing to my decision process and helping me really think through what I wanted to do to get those cards slabbed at the National. And yeah, we'll see how that turns out for me. You guys have a great one. Take care. Keep collecting.